Today I'm going to share with you how I went from 0 people in my network to creating and hosting my first mini conference within a year. I'll also share with you what to consider when building your network. First, let's look at 2 common scenarios women entrepreneurs and creatives find themselves in when it comes to networking and building a network. The first scenario, they have an established network of loose and tight connections, and this allows them a flow of referrals, leads, and opportunities. These quality networks are forged over many years of meaningful contact. They also interact with a diverse group of people who share the same long-term values. The second scenario is this. They don't have a network. They don't have anything they can tap into. So for these women, most are leaving or planning to leave their current situations, and that takes away from their available network. They have no idea whom to market to. They have no idea who will buy from them. As a first-generation immigrant to Canada, having worked 17 years in Fortune 500 companies and the Canada Revenue Agency before stepping out into my own, I didn't have a network. I left the Canada Revenue Agency in October 2014 and started my business in January of 2015. So here I was, 17 years in a cubicle, 17 years an introvert at work and an extrovert at home and in social gatherings. No contacts, no networks, no leads, no mentors. I used Facebook and Twitter, and only my family and friends were on it. And yet, here I was, going into the public speaking and coaching business for myself. I was a number 2 category when it came to networking. And yet, by the end of my first year, I'd run webinars, workshops, spoken on stages, created and hosted my first mini conference, featured on television, podcasts, and in publications. What did I do to quickly build up my network and forge the kind of relationships that brought in all the above opportunities? The first thing I did was get very clear on my mission. I wanted to speak at many places and have private clients. This isn't the same as my mission for my business, which is to activate dreams through entrepreneurship and help women entrepreneurs and creatives do the same. No, this was my, okay, what am I doing today kind of mission. It is a drive and it has a singular purpose. It is a mental, heart, and body alignment. I wanted to speak at events and have private clients more than I was afraid of being judged, ignored, or rejected. This is the kind of mission that fires you up and is adrenaline based. It's the response you have when you encounter something and your response is to go all action, all into it. It is usually generated by the flight response, the one that wants to get you out of a place or into a place. In my case, knowing I was starting with nothing fired me up to create something for myself. And I knew exactly what that was and how it would look. I could see it in my head. That is called a vision. A vision steers your direction. It tells you what to look for, where to go, and often what to do. A powerful vision isn't just useful to write down or talk about. A powerful vision will cause you to do something about your dreams because it won't let you rest. As I create this video, we've experienced a death in the family. So I'd rather not do this. And while I gave myself space and time to grieve, I'm also driven by my vision and I'm also driven by my mission to reach out to as many women entrepreneurs and creatives as possible and help them start making the right kind of choices for themselves. This puts food on my table, it fulfills my purpose, and it serves my business goal while creating great impact for my clients. And also you, who are listening to me and paying attention. So this is also the difference between a business and a game. A game is where you decide you want to give into your feelings and not do what you know is right. That is a game. A business is where you make the hard choices because it is your privilege and responsibility. So the next thing I did was look at my strengths, which I already started when looking at my vision and my mission. I was an introvert, and I can be shy, but I also love to speak and connect. I'm also a great speaker, and I do have charisma. So I knew that these were qualities I could use to draw the right people to me. I also had time. I knew I could go to 4 networking events a week if I had to build up my network. I love tech. Techie! So I knew I could quickly get onto social media channels of my choice and deliver my personality through them for reach. Now, all these strengths didn't mean I had instant skills, okay? There's a difference. These were strengths I identified in myself. However, coming from a background where I'd never used them or needed them, they still needed to be developed, right? Strengths and skills are 2 different things. So I accepted the fact that I was going to experiment and fail publicly because I was interested in progress, not perfection. I chose to go out and learn as I went. This meant going out to each networking event with an open mind, and then after the event, making some decisions based on my experience. Now, to find the networking spaces to go. I decided that because I was an introvert and that it would take some time for me to come out of my shell, I would make networking easy for me. Instead of looking for business groups, I looked into groups that met around my favorite topics. And you can do that online. This allowed me to go to events freely with little to no resistance and to make some great friends. My initial networking was with fiction writing groups and places like Toastmasters International because I love to write, read, learn, and speak. I also made sure the groups I joined met at least once a week. This is because I knew it would take time for me to really connect with people because I don't just accept people. I need time to get to know them and like them. I also wanted people to have multiple interactions with me so they could get a good sense of who I am and what my values were. Slowly, I added business networking events and I joined a few chapters based on how I felt and what I wanted to accomplish. The next thing I did was to create 1 and 2 hour free events and advertised on Eventbrite, Kijiji, and every free online event hosting or newspaper site available. I focused on helping people understand the connection between self-love and money when it came to wanting to start a business. I also hired a business coach. This was my first time doing such a thing. And when he mentioned his prices, I was at first outraged that a business coach could charge a startup so much. Folks, it was $1,200 for the year with unlimited interaction. And I complained. Whether people showed up to my events or not, I didn't care. I was committed to them, so I showed up. It takes some time to build up. So if no one was there, I used the time to create videos or to write articles. I was motivated. Nothing was going to stop me. I also partnered up with my very good friend, and we created our first conference. At the same time, I submitted my articles to publications I enjoyed and thought would be a good fit. I also reached out to people on LinkedIn and Facebook to ask about speaking opportunities. Remember, speaking and private clients, that was my goal. They were very simple short messages that went something like this. Hey, how are you doing? I'm Julia Katsivo. At that time, I wasn't Mrs. Carter, so it was, hey, it's Julia Katsivo, or my name is Julia Katsivo, and I'm a business coach for women. I wondered if you were looking for guest speakers for your event. I talk about XYZ so that, XYZ, the results. Later on, I created a speaker sheet using the template provided by my mentor. And so in my message, I'd add at the end, please let me know if you're interested. I'm happy to forward my speaker sheet. Simple. I did at least 10 of these. I did at least 10 of those a day. Now, I know from where you are, these activities all seem a lot. And you may wonder how I scheduled them. I didn't. I picked up my laptop and my phone and I went to work. I didn't give myself time to think or panic or plan because I would have gone into overthinking mode. I know myself. I didn't give myself time to doubt myself because I would end up in bed having eaten unhealthy food. I didn't spend time on social media scrolling because that would have derailed me and I would have found myself in comparison mode. I spent what time I had doing these things because I wanted those results and I wanted them badly. So, now it's your turn. Are you playing a game or are you running a business? Do your actions reflect your commitment? Please remember that you don't have to do what I did when I did it, okay? You have to do you. You have to figure out you. So, here are my 2 favorite questions when it comes to getting started. You ready? Okay, have paper and pen ready and allow yourself some time to answer these questions. Take a deep breath and write down the first things that come to mind. What do you want? Write down everything that comes to mind before you start asking yourself silly questions like, what do you mean, what do I want? In life, in business? Where? There's so many things that I want. Like, be specific. Just write down your thoughts. Okay, here's the second question. How do you want it? Again, write down everything that comes to mind. The 2 questions again. What do you want? And how do you want it? Now I'm actually going to pause a challenge here, okay? This is if you're very serious about your business and you're no longer playing games with your dreams because life is not guaranteed beyond this minute and you want to live well. You ready for the challenge? When you answer the questions, what do you want and how do you want it? I want you to go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. Simple, okay? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is the part of my vision and mission that started me off years before I quit my job. I publicly shared what I wanted and how I wanted it. That let the world know the energy I was coming at it with. It also released a lot of fear and self-judgment. Not to mention, but I will, once it was out there, I had no choice but to step into it. So, what do you want and how do you want it? Share it in the comments and tag a woman entrepreneur creative you love to do the same. I'm rooting for you. You've got this.